like right now with our fire station I come. Yeah. Oh. Look.
All right, so the camera died. So let me get back to it right quick. So she said $500 million that she could charge per offense, but she said that she understand there was a mistake. I took full responsibility for it, and I didn't waste the court's time. So she charged me $1 million, which altogether with my lawyer fees and everything came out to 10 grand. Now my brothers and them tried to send money over there to pay my fine and stuff like that, but nobody would send it because of there's so many scams going on over there in Jamaica, you know. So what's that, dang, I can't think of the people, but they wouldn't send the money over. So my girl, she had to pay. She came out of pocket with 10 grand to cover everything. So if it wasn't for her, man, I'd still be over there. You know, and it just this whole ordeal just put me in a funk to where, you know, man, I don't even want to work no more. I was truly thinking about quitting working, and I just want to do what I want to do now. You know, your life could change, man, in just a glimpse, just like that. And I never thought of it like that. You know, I always thought if you got in trouble, it's because something that you did and you deserve it. But I don't know, man. I just turned 60, man, and I was sitting in the jail thinking, like, it took me 60 years to become an international criminal. Ain't that some shit? International criminal, and I ain't had nothing to do with the police or any jail for over 35, almost 40 years. So this experience has changed my mind about a lot of stuff, that your life could be over at an instance. And I'm gonna tell you one thing I've learned. I learned a couple of things. One, always, man, just dump your bag out, man, and look all the way through it. Because what I thought I looked through wasn't exactly what I looked through, come to find out. If it hadn't been for her, man, you know, I'd still be over there. I still would be over there. My brothers wanted to fly over there and try to do something. I'm like, man, y'all stay at home. There's no need in coming over here. So, with that being said, she did come out of her pocket and pay all that, but it wasn't fast enough before they scooped my ass up and took me back to jail. Because I went to court like 11 that morning, and I was done by 12. So I think by 12:30, a quarter to 1, nothing had been worked out yet or finished. So they took me back to jail, and I went back there, and I'm like, fuck, I ain't gonna make that flight today. Not gonna make that flight, because I asked my lawyer. I said, so if they take me back to jail, and then I said, well, yes, if they take me back to jail, then how am I going to get to the airport in time enough today to make my flight? He said, if the police don't take you, I will take you. I said, okay, cool. So, you know, I'm feeling inspired. But when they took me back to jail, all my inspirations just left. I'm like, I'm gonna be here for another day or two. So I done went back, you know, when I was in the Navy, we called underwear skivvies. So I done broke back down to my damn skivvies. I done took my socks off. I took all my clothes off because they took my clothes back. Anyway, I done took my skivvies off and everything else. Not my skivvies off, but that's all I had on was my skivvies. And I'm sitting here like, you know, I was talking with my cellies. He said, I got freed. All I got to do is pay my fine. And they was talking about, see, we told you was going to end up going home. But, see, I'm back here. So, you know, I was like, I ain't listening to nothing they talking about. So, I started, you know, sitting there, going into a little funk again. You know, and it was about 3:30, because my flight took off at 4:30, 4:36, something like that. It was 3:30. In that clip y'all seen from at the beginning is the police taking me back, taking me to the, I'm sorry, not taking me back, but taking me to the airport. I got a police, not an escort, but driven by the police to the airport. Them guys were driving right down. We was on a one-lane road. Traffic coming this way, traffic going that way. In Jamaica, they drive on the left-hand side of the road. This guy was going, running in between the traffic going, you know, back, going this way and going back that way. I ain't never seen nothing like it before in my life. It's with the siren going. He making people get over, blowing his horn, like get out the way, coming through. It took him every bit of 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 at the most, to get me to that airport. I got escorted to the gate by immigration, and they put me on a plane. They were saying, immigration was saying, they sorry that this happened to me. They hope I come back to Jamaica. I told them I wasn't coming back ever. And I told them, I said, all I care, man, is that, you know, if you guys want to, y'all can keep that damn passport. But they told me I needed to get back into the States, so I had to bring it back. But after all of that, I don't have no record or nothing, so I'm still good. And I hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Jump in those comments, man. Tell me something, you know, what y'all think, you know, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. So hit that subscribe button. Peace.